This summer, we are going to be traveling through Europe for 2 months, visiting some familiar places, but more excitingly, exploring a whole new set of countries. But instead of flying over the Atlantic, we chose to sail across by a transatlantic cruise.
We are on the ship.
We arrived in England and spent a week driving around the villages along the Cornish coast. We then head south to Turkey and spend 4 days seeing the sights and eating our way through Istanbul.
Wow, it's pretty incredible.
And then explore the otherworldly landscapes of Cappadocia.
Now we know why they call it Love Valley.
We then head north to the former countries of the Soviet bloc. Our first stop is the Stoic capital of Sofia, Bulgaria.
And then we have, which I've never seen before, a statue, a monument to a car.
We travel on to Romania and experience both its capital, Bucharest, as well as the smaller towns and countryside of this beautiful country.
It feels like it's very, very storybook, almost like I'm walking through Disneyland.
Before heading to the elegant yet humble city of Budapest, Hungary.
We got some beers.
And ending our Eastern Bloc tour in the country of Slovakia and its charming capital, Bratislava. We cross the border into the west and visit Austria before heading to France to catch our flight home. From serene scenic lakes to the bustle of Vienna, we drive, boat, slide, and ride our way across Austria.
It's nice.
Before ending our trip in the lavender fields of Provence and the beaches of the Côte d'Azur.
How long have you been dreaming of this?
I don't know, but it's sure good.
Mixing old and new, comfortable in the unknown, we hope to have a bunch of new experiences and a lot of fun along the way.
So, after being at home for about 9 months since our last big trip, we are off again to a very exciting new adventure, a lot of new countries we've not been before. And first up will be a transatlantic cruise, which is new to us. We're looking forward to that.
And then after that, we're going to a bunch of new countries. We're starting in
Turkey,
and then we go
Bulgaria, Romania, Slovakia, Hungary, Austria, France, and then we'll make our way back home.
Yeah, with a quick little stop in Canada. So we're excited. Let's hit the road and let the adventure begin.
We're in Big Cypress Swamp, and I don't think I've seen more alligators than I have here. There's so many just laying around, just basking in the water, laying in the sun. It's amazing.
We are in
Made
Miami.
it to Miami.
And we are staying in a wonderful Fairfield Inn, but it is what it is. It's one night at the hotel, and then tomorrow we are at the airport just around the corner from us and heading to New York.
Had a nice little stop on the way, saw some alligators. That was pretty fun.
Yeah.
Just in the canal, just right on the side of the road. We took 41, which is a smaller little highway than the main Highway 75.
So now we're going to go get some light dinner, a couple beers. There's a really homogeneous Champion Sports Bar from Marriott right around the corner. So we're just going to go there.
Going gourmet.
We're going gourmet. We're just going to go there. So tomorrow, the adventure begins.
Where are we going?
We're going to New York.
We'll get in our Uber, get to the hotel, change, freshen up, get on the subway up to Midtown. See Bono.
We quickly checked into our hotel and grabbed a slice of pizza before heading to the theater. Ruth had been really wanting to see Bono's one-man show, and we were lucky enough to score tickets at the last minute.
Where are you going?
I'm going to see Bono.
2 hours later.
What an incredible show. I'm so happy that we got to go see it. I'm sorry, I just need to get home. Have to get a good New York bagel.
I met up with my sister who just happened to be in the city for work and took a quick walk through Central Park before heading to one of our favorite Chinese restaurants for dim sum. So we've had a really good day despite the weather and the rain. It's been raining all afternoon.
Pouring rain.
And we got our clothes all drying here on heaters, just out in the air. We've been using the hair dryer. We saw my sister Michelle for lunch. We walked around the park before it started really raining. And so that was really nice. So again, thanks Michelle for lunch. And then we were going to head to Brooklyn today, but it was just so rainy and we got on the wrong train, or the train wasn't running and to Brooklyn. So we just kind of changed our minds and ended up at Italy, which was great because we just drank wine and picked up our dinner. So we picked up a little focaccia and some chips and some meats and cheeses. And of course, some wine. Though we're drinking them out of paper cups because the restaurant here won't lend us glasses, which is kind of weird.
Gourmet paper coffee cups.
But it does the job. So we can drink the wine, we can watch some TV, kick back and relax. We've got our sandwiches, we have chips, and we have this chocolate hazelnut ball thing, which looks unbelievable.
Yum.
Tomorrow we're on the cruise ship, and that should be...
And hopefully it will not be raining tomorrow morning.
Yeah, because we gotta walk to take the subway, and then a train, and then an Uber to the port. So hopefully it's not too bad, but we're gonna enjoy our dinner and enjoy our wine.
So we've just come off the PATH train into New Jersey and across the river, and we have this amazing, beautiful view.
The ship.
After a quick lunch in the Windjammer, we headed upstairs to the top deck for sail away. We had never sailed out of New York before and heard that there was a special tradition of passing by the Statue of Liberty when leaving on a transatlantic cruise. After days of rain, we were lucky to have such beautiful weather for the sail away, with amazing views of Lower Manhattan and the Statue of Liberty. We were soon making the turn to head out towards open ocean, and we headed to the stern to watch New York fade into the distance. To reach the Atlantic, we had to pass under the Verrazano Narrows Bridge.
Under the Verrazano Narrows Bridge, enjoying a little glass of champagne as we set sail for the Azores Islands. We'll get there in 6 days. Time to enjoy the ship, relax, have fun, eat a bunch of good food, and enjoy the ocean vistas.
The journey across the Atlantic was going to take us 11 days. We had 3 ports of call: the Azores, Cherbourg in Normandy, France, and lastly Le Havre, before we arrive in Southampton. Our track also took us 15 miles south of the Titanic's final resting place. As it was our first morning on board, it was time to explore the ship. It was also about now that I found out that my camera's mic input was broken, so for the rest of the trip I was stuck utilizing the camera's internal microphone. With 6 sea days ahead, we quickly settled into a daily routine: exercise, eat,
Rio, British banger.
relax, and have fun. Having sailed many times on Royal Caribbean, we've always enjoyed the amazing amenities on their ships, but this was the first time on a Quantum-class ship, and we quickly found out there was so much to do on board the Anthem of the Seas. From multiple pools, bars, lounges, shows, to bumper cars, the Northstar observation pod, and even a skydiving simulator, as well as tons of places just to hang out and soak up the views. Turns out we were never bored. In addition to never being bored, we never stopped eating. Our cruise also coincided with the coronation of Prince Charles, and as we were heading to England, there was a large contingent of British people on board. The ship celebrated his coronation with a massive party. While it was just a little too cold to ride the flow rider, one of the top activities we had to do on board the Anthem was the skydiving simulator. Another way to fly on the Anthem is the Northstar, an observation pod mounted on the end of a giant crane arm at the top of the ship. Rising 300 feet into the air gives epic views of the ship and surrounding area. Despite a fear of heights, Ruth loved it. The last activity we had to do were the bumper cars. Located in the Seaplex, it promised a whole lot of silly fun. Bumper cars was fun. It's old style amusement.
Yeah.
Classic. Having sailed over 2,500 miles across the Atlantic from New York, our first port of call was Ponta Delgada in the Azores. Located 1,000 miles from Europe, the Azores are a semi-autonomous archipelago of Portugal. Most of its population of 250,000 live in the capital city of Ponta Delgada.
As much as I should be totally relaxed because we've done nothing but be at sea for 6 days, I'm really tired.
I'm about to go out on a tour of the island. We're going to go head up into the clouds over here. We're going to go see
There are mountains up there and a volcano, right?
Yeah, so there's a couple big crater lakes, and we're going to go explore those and check that out, and then hopefully we get some time to explore the cute little town here. So we're at the Cetas, and they're amazing. I mean, you can't believe how beautiful these things are. I mean, look at that. It is just so picture perfect. Beautiful blue lake, green lake, amazing.
Never seen anything like it.
You know, haven't seen anything like it because we can't see it. It's completely covered in fog. Oh well.
As the weather was getting worse, we made our way back down the mountain and headed to a pineapple plantation. The Azores are the only place in the world where pineapples are grown in greenhouses, with a plant only bearing fruit once every 2 to 3 years. Our last tour stop were the botanical gardens in the center of Ponta Delgada. The capital city of Ponta Delgada is rich in Portuguese design, from the black and white stone sidewalks to the late Gothic and Manueline-style buildings and squares. Its charm reminded us of our trip to Lisbon. One of our favorite foods in Lisbon were the custard tarts, and we went in search of pastel de nata.
Oh, we just passed it.
Not quite as good as the ones in Lisbon, but I'll take.
Leaving the bakery, we pass some interesting street art on the way back to the ship. The beauty of cruises is the ability to visit places that are sometimes hard to reach and or may only need a short visit. While we couldn't see the Cetas due to the fog, as we left Ponta Delgada, we felt it definitely fit into that bucket. We had 2 sea days before our last 2 ports of call, starting with Cherbourg in northern France. There's a fort way over there. As the gateway to Normandy, Cherbourg is a busy ferry port. It also saw the Titanic stop before embarking on its fateful crossing, and where millions of people departed from as they immigrated to the New World.
Here we are in the departure terminal in Cherbourg, and it's quite interesting for me because my relatives, when they came over to the U.S., came to the U.S. through this port. Here we have our first real baguette of the trip. We're so excited to have real baguette.
So simple, yet so good. I don't know why we cannot do something like this at home. The baguette, the ham, the cheese, it just is so perfect.
Normandy played a pivotal role in the Allied victory in World War II. Both its small towns and beaches were the primary sites of the Allied invasion on D-Day. And we headed out on a tour to the American beaches and the cemetery in Colville. Our first stop was Saint-Mary-Église, where paratroopers from the 101st and 82nd Airbornes landed in the days leading up to D-Day. One even landed on the top of the church and got stuck. Omaha Beach was the location of the largest invasionary force on D-Day. Some 34,000 troops landed in a 24-hour period, but it also suffered the most initial casualties, with estimates of 3,000 American soldiers lost. While the beaches are golden today and homes and businesses have been built, the bravery, fear, and determination that those soldiers endured are not lost, and we are forever thankful for their service. Perched on a bluff above Omaha Beach, the American Cemetery at Colville is the final resting place for over 9,300 servicemen. After yesterday's emotional tour to the D-Day sites, we wanted to spend our last port day and last day of the cruise enjoying the charms of a typical French coastal town, and Honfleur fit the bill perfectly. Located on the other side of the Seine estuary from our port of Le Havre, it was an easy local bus ride to get there.
What flavor did you get?
Caramel de sel.
So good. I got blackcurrant and pear. The pear is very subtle. Blackcurrant is very intense. They both really taste like the fruits.
As we set sail for the final time and headed towards Southampton, we couldn't believe 11 days had passed. With a mixture of relaxation, activities, good food, and a great crew, we loved our transatlantic cruise on board the Anthem of the Seas and would readily do it again. While sad for it to end tomorrow, we disembarked for a week driving around the beautiful region of Cornwall and another set of adventures.